Hello everybody, Bob6983 here, and we are back for some more Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. I don't know what voice this is going for, but you know what, we're here, so why don't you go for it? Anyways, in the last episode, why don't you put it down like this? If you're in the area, follow Tony for LC's, I don't know. In the last episode, we were over here in Rustboro. We got the Quick Claw. We fought some trainers, and then we caught our new party member, Paraba the Rapper. And in this episode, we are going to be fighting this last hiker, and then we are going to be taking on Miss Roxanne. Roxanne is a student at the Pokemon school, but she is the gym leader, so we need to get Whismur as prepped as we can possibly get to Whismur. Mudspore isn't really an attack that we need to worry about, it just lowers electricity's effectiveness. We don't have anything with electricity on it. Oh, by the way, I looked into what kind of effects or what kind of moves the Poochyena that you do the dex nabbing on at the beginning of the game, what attack it would have depending on what starter you get. So if you get Torchic, that Poochyena will have Ice Fang. When you get Mudkip, that Poochyena gets Fire Fang. And when you pick Trico, it gets Thunder Fang. So I guess maybe if you pick Trico, you're the only one getting snubbed. I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's a good way to get a very interesting Poochyena very early on. I like Poochyena Mightyena. I'm not going to be using one for this playthrough. However, since fingers crossed, the idea that I was going for this series is going into fruition. I still haven't recorded that other part though. My idea was, and I guess if it does or doesn't happen, oh well, here you go. I wanted to do this in Spanish as well, but on a copy of Omega Ruby. And then for, the additional Pokemon that we need. Nice, Howl is really good. For the additional Pokemon that we need from the other game, for like certain legendaries later on, I can just grab them from there, and then vice versa. I don't know where I was going with this train of thought, but oh right. So Poochyena, Mightyena. I'm not using one for this playthrough, but fingers crossed I'm using one for that playthrough. Because I want to use a Mightyena. I want to use most of the team that I used originally, like from my very first playthrough of Pokemon Emerald, but I switched it up a bit because I kind of don't want to use a Slacking on the team on the Spanish version, because the Truant thing would, I don't know. Truant is cool if you're ready for like the long con, but just maybe not for like a playthrough. It's doable, but it's a bit slower. I don't know. Okay. There's one more trainer over here, and then once we're done fighting this trainer, we'll go ahead and, I guess, take on the person of the hour, Paraba. One more trainer you gotta fight, and then you're good to go. Maybe I'll run back to the Pokemon Center after this. There are a few other things I wanted to talk about. Not like anything like super important, but just, I guess, things, talking points. So, I guess in between Kirby and Pokemon happening, I started watching a new anime. Not a new anime, but I guess a new anime on my watch list, which I should have watched a long time ago because someone told me to watch it a long time ago, or was telling me about that anime, and I never watched it, and now I'm getting to it, and I'm like, why didn't I watch this sooner? But maybe I'm not good at this point. Yeah, I might die. Oh no, I'm good. What am I talking about? But that is, I watched My Love Story, which is a nice slice of life about this high schooler who is like, he's fucking massive, and yeah, he's got like very big lips, he's very like buff, burly, that type of stuff, and he's always had crushes and whatnot, but like they all like shit talk him behind his back, and whatnot, and they all always want to go with his best friend. So you know, all that kind of premise. It's a really good slice of life. I finally got through to watching it, and it's been a really nice watch. I really did enjoy it. And then after that, right now, I am currently watching Spy Family, and it's been really wholesome. I do enjoy that. I'm probably going to give Whismer an Oranberry. There we go. I'm probably going to give them all Oranberries, just to be on the safe side. Because, quite frankly, we don't really have any sort of manpower to be fighting Roxanne. I'm just going to be banking off of, fingers crossed, Whismer can just echo voiced through all of this. Because that is what I did in the previous run, or the previous, what am I going to say? I probably shouldn't save, but oh well. Yeah, I'll save. In my previous, I guess, practice run of this game, that's what I did. But then again, my Whismer was a whole lot higher level, maybe because I dex nabbed it. But I don't know. You to be doing, yeah, you to be doing the JoJo pose. Roxanne. Okay, this one might be good. I'm not sure. We're going to be doing a lot of menu talk. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Ooh, your Geodude is level 12. I could do a Howl, but that would increase Pound, not Echoed Voice. Maybe if Whisper was like level 12. Oh, right. Rock Tomb. That's not good. I'm going to be slower. This does a lot of damage. Yikes! Oh, that's right as well. Oh, I'm so silly. I'm so silly. I'm the silliest Billy that's ever been billied. I completely forgot. I am at that. That's right. That's right. Hang on. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna restart. I just remembered a really big important reason why this may be a really bad idea, and maybe I should level up my Whismer one more. I completely forgot that the nature of my Whismer is defense down, attack up. That's on me. That's my bad. My bad, Roxanne. The way that you restart the game, in case you need to know for shiny hunting or for any reason whatsoever, is press L and R at the same time while also pressing the start button. That is how you restart the game. But yeah, that is my bad. I completely forgot that I have a defense down on my stats. That is really embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But what I was going to talk about, I'm going to level up Whismer at least one more level, and then we're good to go. It maybe won't be enough, but I'll see if I can make do with it. But what I was going to talk about is I injured myself recently in one of the most stupid ways like possible, and I'm so mad about it. Which is, so there was a moth in my room. True, soundproof don't affect me. Or I guess those moves don't affect me. But yeah, there was a moth in my room, and I was playing through Dragon Quest 8 on my 3DS. But I was also trying to like test it out on the screen on my PC. And yeah, it just flew on top of my monitor, and I was like doing like a back and forth between this insect, this evil creature from the underworld, you know, type shit. And I was like, you know what? Since it's not leaving my room, it's not exiting. If I level up Chocobo one more, it could get a fighting type move. So maybe I'll do that real quick. But yeah, I was like, yeah, it's not leaving my room. I tried many times to like make it leave my room. I tried not killing insects in my room as often now. I'll just like export them out of there, like if it's like an ant, because you know, like if you kill ants, then they release pheromones for other ants to come over to like bury it. So instead of, you know, killing them, I'll just like leave them out of my room or something, or like take them out of the house. And just I prefer, you know, being at least a bit more merciful towards insects now. Except for cockroaches. Fuck y'all. But yeah, I was like, yeah, you're not leaving. I guess I'm gonna kill you, unfortunately. So I go to kill it. It was on one of my soundproof panels in my room. Skitty, hi. Kitty, what are you doing here? Did I not see you before? You're so Portuguese. Yeah, I went to go kill it, and then I guess I did smack it, but my shoe freaking slipped out of my hands, and I tried to like re-grasp it with my nails because that was like the last part of my body that could reach it, and I'm grabbing the shoe back that way it doesn't slip out of my hands entirely, and I use enough force in my fingernails to, I guess, yank my middle fingernail out of out of its place enough to pop like a blood vessel, like a vein there or something like that. And I started bleeding from like my middle finger, like right where like my nail would normally be like connecting to like the skin. And I'm like, this is the stupidest way to get an injury this late at night. And like now I have to rest my finger. True, we're gonna learn double kick right now. Absolutely, we're gonna learn that. Get rid of sand attack probably. Nah, we'll get rid of scratch. But yeah, I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying. I injured myself in the stupidest way ever. Who the heck has ever injured themselves this stupid from trying to, you know, kill a moth? That is incredibly stupid, and I was super ashamed of myself, and I was like, oh man, this is a new low. Like, oh my god. At this point, yeah, honestly, yeah, make fun of him because that's so stupid. Like, that's some like dumbass activity. How the hell you damage yourself that bad? So I could just, you know, solo this. I really could solo this with Chocobo, but I think I'm gonna still try to do it with Paraba. Take 2. At least maybe now it's stronger, at least a little bit. Maybe it can now take a bit more of a, I guess, punch, or I don't know. Yes, we know you're Roxanne. You knew our Pokemon would get this far. Demonstrate how a Pokemon battle. Yeah. JoJo Post 2. Let's go back over to this one. There we go. Maybe this one isn't the better one. I don't know. I kind of want to show the menus off. But maybe this one's better. I'm not quite sure. Maybe this one's better for the beginning of the battle, and then later on we'll get stuff over to this one. I didn't really test this out too well. I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Bars. I really do like how this gym is laid out, though. There's like all of the fossil stuff in the background. There's like a Dragonite fossil, although Dragonite doesn't really have a fossil. It's weird. They have Kabutops, though. They have like an Aerodactyl as well. Good lord, you did so much damage to me. You did like 20. Yeah, you did just about like 20 damage. It's not cool. I'm still faster than you. I hope you do like a defense. Oh, you're doing tackle. Interesting. I would like for you to do like a regular attack. That way Paraba doesn't die. That's not a regular attack. That's the same type attack. I don't have a revive on me just yet, which is a shame. I do have a super potion, but I don't really want to use that. You put me in such a stupid position. Even if I do this, it's still, you're still gonna do a lot of my HP, so it's not really gonna matter. There we go, nice, a defense curl. And now what I can do is I can attack you. And fingers crossed I don't die. I'm slower than you now, that's not good. my echoed voice reset. I realistically didn't think that that would be the case. I thought, fine. I know I'm gonna take super effective damage right now by swapping in. I'm not taking super effective damage from swapping in. Okay, cool. But I really thought, you know, even though I'm healing, it's not gonna be as, it's not gonna like reset the stacking, but I guess it did, which is annoying. And the annoying thing is Parabba didn't even evolve off of that. And Roxanne still has a potion that she can use. And Nosepass has a really high defense stat is the problem. I'm gonna get hit with a Rock Tomb. Yeah, I know, super effective. Oh, it's not super effective because the fighting typing. Oh, true, even I still be learning some stuff. Even after, you know, playing this for a long time. Also, you know, mostly just because I don't use Blaziken as much. Of course, you know, I am a... I guess you could call me basic bitch, but I use Swampert each and every time, basically, whenever I play this game. Just, I don't know, it's the very first starter I ever chose, ever. So, yeah, and it's just, I just have favoritism towards Swampert. There we go. Yeah, you're going to talk about all this stuff. Yeah, you lost. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, you have a lot to learn. I also have a lot to learn. I didn't think that Echoed Voice would reset based off of me healing. I was almost 100% certain on that, but I guess I haven't practiced enough with it. But thank you for the gym badge. Kind of looks like a little candy. Maybe put it in my mouth. But don't do that because it has like the little spike thing. That's what lapel pins have. You know, they have the spike thing. You know, when you put it onto like your clothes. That's how it sticks on. Yeah, I'm at the jump. I'm low key. I'm at the jump. I'm gay, is it? No. Rock Tomb. Thank you for Rock Tomb. And Pokemon level 20. If like under level. Ooh, Leap. True. Pokemon 20. I think around under level 20 will obey you if they're traded in, is what it said. This is the Kabutops fossil. I'm assuming that's a Dragonite in the background. This is a Leap. These are probably Ammonite and Kabuto, but I guess Dome Fossil and Helix Fossil, Old Amber. I'm not quite sure. No, wait, but this is Old Amber. So then what are you? A lot of fossil, that's silly. What are you? Petrified wood? That's stupid. But cool, I guess, nonetheless. Okay, let's get on out of here. And then we got one more thing. He'll be like, wait! It's true. Out of the way, move it. Bro, you're so slow! Don't take those parts. And then he just stops right there. Dog! I'm gonna go help you in a sec, and then after we help him, we'll be done with the episode. It's gonna be Majora's time to shine! Because I know what Pokemon they're gonna send out, you know. Like last time, remember the whole thing with the Poochyena? Yeah, it's gonna be a take 2 with that. And again, Poochyena, weak to bug. I should probably swap over to this one again. No, there we go. I couldn't even see what was happening. I was just swapping over Majora to the friend of the party. Excuse me, good lord. I was trying. Whenever I'm in, there you are. You're a fantastic trainer. Yeah, help me in Petalburg. Yeah. Whenever I'm in my room alone, you know, if I have, you know, bodily needs, I will release them, such as burps or, you know, passing gas. I will release them, but I will be a whole lot more, or I guess a whole lot less concerned about if anybody else will hear me. But whenever I'm doing recordings or whenever I'm out in public with people, specifically burps, I will do them under my breath. I'll be like, or something like that, and like blow the wind in a direction that's not, you know, facing the people who I'm looking at. Because, you know, out of respect, number one, I don't want you to be smelling the stuff that's coming out of my body. Number two, I don't want you to, like, you know, feel disrespectful of me doing that. But also, like, I still have bodily needs and need to get them out. So if you ever, like, if people who I'm hanging out with, if you ever see me, like, turn away or something like that, most likely I'm trying, you know, to be respectful and, you know, look in a different direction. That way, you know, I'm not, like, being rude or something to you. But if I'm in my room, I give no flying fucks. I'll, like, let out the loudest belch you've ever heard. I'll be like, yeah, or something like that. True, Mr. Briny. What am I to do? It's the walk Pico. Yeah, Pico. Uh-huh. This is the tunnel with only Whismers in here. So there is an item over here that you can get. Pokeball. And okay, cool. As you can see, we have the gold crown here, signifying that we have everything that you can never catch in this route. I guess the silver one is meant for if you've caught everything, period. And or no, the silver one is meant for, I guess, if you've caught almost everything, or everything at that point in time. And I guess the gold one's for everything, period. Yeah, keel hole it all. I learned what keel holing is. It's not cool. I always used to hear that, and I'd be like, keel hole it all. It's a thing that pirates say, but keel holing is just really graphic and gruesome and terrible. I'm gonna give you all I guess a mental image of what it is. It's not pretty. It's essentially okay, how do I explain this the best to my ability? Keel hauling is when people on a ship grab somebody to torture them, and they throw them under the boat, tied up. They throw them under the boat, like tied up by like a rope or something, where all like the barnacles are, like like the bottom part of the ship essentially. They'll put them like hung up by ropes, and they'll like keep smacking against the bottom of the boat along with all the barnacles, so they'll be bleeding and all that stuff. You don't want to be like smacked up against a bunch of barnacles and against the boat while the boat is sailing along. That is what keel hauling is. It is really not a pretty picture. Essentially, you are dying via, you know, being smacked by a bunch of barnacles in the ship, and, you know, from drowning and whatnot. If you can survive that, I guess they would go on to like another way of, you know, like dealing with you, or I don't know, they put you back out there again. I don't know. But yeah, keel hauling, it's not a pretty picture. But yeah, usually whenever people are talking about pirates, I'd be like, "Alright, me hearties, walk the plane, keel hauling, avast me." You know, they'll just say that. But like actual keel hauling, it's not cool. It's really graphic. Speaking of graphic, I've talked about this with my parents recently, and I've talked about it on the channel as well. But in the 3rd grade, we read as a class Peter Pan, and we were not ready for that at all. Like we should have waited at least maybe like until the 5th grade at least to read that book, because like a lot of scenes there. Hi, buddy boy. That goofy goon hightailed it out of the tunnel. I can go back to digging. True. By the way, I guess before I continue on what I was saying, if you have cut at the moment, and if you've beaten Roxanne, you can cut here and fight like 2, maybe 3 more trainers and get some access to more berries. I'm not going to worry about that. Respectfully, they can be there. I might catch a Pokemon to use cut anyways, so maybe I will, but I don't know. If there's a Zigzag in here... Oh, speak of the best boy! But yeah, I don't think we should have been reading Peter Pan, because there was a lot of stuff that was like described very graphically. Like when they were talking about the mermaids in the book, they were talking about how like, oh, like the mermaids were naked. There was no like version of like the cartoon where like, oh, they have like the starfish on top of their chest, or like they have something covering it. No, they just straight up said, yeah, the mermaids were naked And they walked up, they seduced like the sailors, or they were trying to seduce the sailors, and then they would fucking bite them and slash at them, and they looked like monsters, and they had sharp teeth and all that sort of shit. And I was like, oh my god, we're reading this. It's like we shouldn't be intaking this as children just yet. Maybe when we're a bit older. Definitely not in the third grade. Third grade, maybe you're like, I don't know, like 7, 8, somewhere around there. Like we shouldn't be reading this. And then like there was like some other scenes, like I want to say in the book they drew Tinkerbell naked, I think, but she was like really, really tiny or something. I don't know. And then the way that they described how Captain Hook lost his hand was really like, I don't know. It's cool, but also very graphic. Like Peter Pan, I believe, cut off Captain Hook's hand, and then it was completely off. And then Peter Pan was like, aha, here's the funny thing about this, buddy boy. I'm going to toss it to the gator. Here you go. And then that's what happened. But it's like, I don't know if we should have been reading this. I might not be the teacher here, but something tells me maybe we shouldn't be reading this. Not yet, at least. But what can you do? I'm older now. I'm a whole ass adult. Can't change the past. Can only, I guess, learn from that and I guess continue to the future. I don't know. But yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Next time on Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, I guess we will be, maybe fighting these trainers and then returning those Devon parts and seeing if we can go over to the next town over. So until next time, I guess see you all then.